Hello, everyone. It's episode 52 of the General Damage Podcast.
Sup, guys?
How's it going?
Yeah. So just to get introductions out of the way, I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah.
We got it this time.
Yes. Yeah, I got it this time. We never do introductions, right? What the hell am I talking about?
Dude, it's not something that's like... It's funny enough. It's one of those things that, like, when you do so many things on repetition that if you just don't remind yourself about it, you can forget it easily. You know? It's one of those things that's just very simple to forget about.
At worst case scenario, I'll just come up with a shitty intro.
Yeah.
It sounds like a TV sitcom.
No.
Starring Will.
Oh, God.
No, you're forbidden from intros after that last, brought to you by fire bullshit that you did when you were living here in California.
I am the editor right now. I am the sole editor.
Oh my God. Shane, we also have the right to just pull it from every source available. You smug son of a bitch.
I mean, to be fair though, I'm not going to do something without consulting you guys first.
Yeah, that is true. That is
well, you fucking better not.
I mean, that'd be rude. This is an equal partnership. Now, that being said, though, there's not a lot that I could fuck up, really.
Accurate. That is very true.
Don't piss us off when you're 3,000 miles away and we can't hit you for it.
I mean,
but that's the best time.
Fuck you.
I'm willing to fly out there, visit tell my family that I'm visiting my uncle, drive to Massachusetts, smack you once, and then drive back to Rhode Island, stay with them for a couple of days, and be like, well, I'm going home now.
You mean Rhode Island? Don't you mean Massachusetts boot?
No, I mean Rhode Island, you smug bastard.
No, Rhode Island's not a state. Shut up.
I mean, you're not a state. Now you shut up.
We're a bigger state than Rhode Island.
Are you? Your personality's not.
Hey.
I'm allowed to be smarmy.
It's okay, we're all smarmy.
That's true.
I'm looking up how much does it cost to fly to Rhode Island? Because I want to know how much this hit to Shane's face would cost Will.
Oh man, it's like a pretty expensive punch. Let's be real.
Fly to Rhode Island. I can't spell road.
Rhode Island's spelled with an H, so it's dumb.
Yeah, it is dumb. That is something Shane will both agree on. That's a stupid way to spell that. The name of the state.
Yeah,
English is stupid in general.
Oh yeah,
I found out today because I was oddly wanting to look this up. Apparently, in the newest version of the Oxford Dictionary, there's about almost 200,000 words in it.
Okay.
Then another 40,000 words that are obsolete.
Wow.
Jesus. I'd actually be okay with getting paid to go through and remove obsolete words.
Yeah, well, I mean, shit, I can't think of an obsolete word because they're obsolete. But anyway, the cheapest this hit will cost you, Will, is $374. That's just one way.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So $600 round trip.
Yeah, right. That's that's 2 weeks of worth of working or so.
Then it's 418. That's Delta. United is 420. Hey, you can blaze it on your way there, but only in certain states when you're over their airspace.
I mean, if he comes to Massachusetts, he can blaze it all he wants.
That's right.
Well, and here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I'll pre-game here, get to your estate, post-game, go visit my uncle, then I'll smack you, then I'll visit my uncle's, and then I'll fly home. There we go.
We did vote for it, right?
Yeah.
It passed.
Oh, yeah, no, it passed.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it passed.
It passed with resounding approval.
Well, it should have passed a while ago. So I have American, Delta, and United Airlines. Okay. And then I have other airlines, and that cost is $2,000.
Huh.
That has to be like business or some shit.
Now,
Yeah.
actually, I think
That's not
Will,
worth a hit to Shane.
I think Will could save money if he flew to Logan, which is the Boston airport,
Uh-huh.
because it's less out of the way than the Rhode Island one. And then, if you got a shuttle from Boston to me, that would only be, let's see, a round trip could be around $400. The shuttle from Boston Airport to at least, I want to say Hyannis, that's about like maybe $50, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you took an Uber to my house, the most they'll charge is $40. So right now we're rounding about $500.
Okay.
You could.
So
get...
you're are you itemizing how?
No, I'm thinking about this
can-
because this is interesting to me. Now he could get an Uber or he could do a rental, and the rental for 3 days. Yeah, he could probably do it at about $600 if he flew straight to Boston.
So this black guy is going to cost Will about $500.
If he's smart, he'll hit me twice, and that way each fist is worth about $250.
All right. So any potential takers on this?
All right, let's start a GoFundMe page.
Let's GoFundMe this. All right, there we go.
And I mean,
The stretch goal is I tag along.
If you time it right, Will, you could do it around dinner time. You could get a free Italian dinner, and then get to hit me, and then get to watch my dad give me a smack in the back of the head.
Excellent. Man, this is even better. There's a free meal involved? Damn. This sounds better and better all the time.
Okay. And if you're smart, you can find some way to get one of your uncles to come to Massachusetts to pick you up and stay with them.
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't be that hard. It literally, I could drive from where I live now in Mashpee, and I could go spend 3 hours, get to Rhode Island, and then, yeah, it's only like a 3-hour trip. So it's not that hard.
Yeah.
No, so it's like that's like from here to Fresno.
Yeah. I'm sure I could convince money to pick me up. There we go. Perfect. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Say your uncle's name again.
Money?
Money? Like money in my wallet?
No. MANI. And that's even like, I think it.
But the pronunciation is money?
That's how my family's always like pronounced his name. So
It's okay, Nick. I had the same thought, but I was like, nah, it's too easy.
Yeah.
It can't be spelled like that.
I just wanted some clarification.
His name's definitely longer than that. That's his nickname. Yeah.
Okay.
Or it's a shorter version of his name. I'm not sure. He has a really long name that I've like sat there and I'm like, I don't know how to pronounce this. like
There's too many vowels.
yes, like between my dad and his brothers, Money's the only one who I can't actually pronounce his name. I'm just like, it starts with a V and then it has a lot of letters and I don't know how to pronounce it at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
So it's just like, yep, money. There we go. Done.
Yeah, my sister didn't know you were Indian.
Did she think I was Hispanic?
I don't know what she thought. She didn't know you were Indian, though. She probably thought you were Hispanic.
I mean, like, that one kind of comes with the skin color, so no surprise there.
I want to put...
And the beard. Well, the beard is... No, I've never seen a Spanish man grow a beard like yours. So that's probably...
No, I agree. That's where like it definitely differs.
Yeah.
I have the coloration, I have the skin color for it, but the beard is the thing that throws it off.
Yeah.
So you guys met my family.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I did graduation. So, funny thing, I don't think anyone expected Will to be Indian. Because I don't mention like those details.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, this is my friend Will, this is my friend Nick. Apparently, no one was expecting Nick to be as tall as he was.
I was... What?
I think you're taller than, like, my dad.
I am?
Possibly. How tall are you?
5'10", 5'11".
Okay, so you're roughly around the same height as him. All right.
Okay, I'm probably broader than him.
Yeah. It's just, it was like, it came up recently because I was talking to my brother. I was like, oh yeah, you met Nick, right? Remember he was there? He's like, oh yeah. And then like, he was like, I don't think anyone was expecting your friends to be, and I was like, what, older? And he goes, well, I think that was what he was looking for. I was like, yeah, to be them. And granted, I didn't want to say at the time, but I was thinking to myself, I bet no one was expecting Will to be Indian, but that's like,
Okay.
Granted,
I know,
we have Indians out here, just the Native American kind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What, were you chatting with? Okay, I remember when you first arrived at college, you were taking pictures of everything.
Oh, when I showed up,
And when you first came to Cogswell, you were taking pictures of everything.
Yes, I was.
Did you like chat about the weird people you met here? And I find that weird. I don't know why.
I did not chat about people specifically in the way that, like, best way to put it was like I did be like, hey, I met this person. His name was Will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And then my first detail was like, he runs the Magic Club, right? Like that. Like, It's like things that I associate with those people. Past that,
you weren't like, he's a brown man.
well, no. But like, for instance, I never took pictures of Will either. So when
I think you get hit if you did that.
well, I mean, like, people take pictures with their friends and all that, right?
Right.
And
I don't think you were a friend then.
well, no, not my first day. Though, granted,
Was he a friend then, Will?
No, not the first day.
No, you would have gotten hit.
not day one. Definitely day 3, though.
I mean, there would have been a lot of like verbal assault and the middle finger in half the photos. So
that's fine. Like,
yeah,
I'm not really big on taking pictures of people. I think I still can't get past orientation, which was hilarious because Courtney was like, she was leading our group, and I'm taking all these photos. So she goes, "You're acting like it's your first day here." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've never been inside this building before."
Okay.
She was just so taken aback. She's like, "What?" Like, "Yeah, I've never been to an open house. I'm from Massachusetts."
Well, there you go. Yeah, take the damn pictures.
Right? And of course, I told people, but I just, I never said anything about anyone's looks or anything like that outside of Devane, because Devane was the only person who ever showed up in pictures.
gotcha.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so surprise.
Okay.
Granted, I mean,
No, people thought I was short. I don't know why I'm having a weird time with this.
I think it's because actually, I think I know why. I have a friend out here named Nick, and he's super short. Well, not super short, but like he's shorter than me.
Okay, well,
And so, like, I think
fairly short.
Well, like, I think it's like the only Nick my mom's known. So like they were like, oh yeah, Nick, right? And so like it's hard to break away that mental connection. And granted, I was never like, oh yeah, Nick, he's taller, bigger guy than me and all that. I'm like, nah. Though afterwards, I do remember joking around because Paul didn't get to go to graduation, right?
Right.
Right.
I remember we did talk about that at one point. I was like, oh yeah, Dad got to meet all these people, and I mentioned you guys, so you're like family. And he's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, yeah, and what's really sad though, when you enjoy the company of your college dad more than your actual dad. Jokes aside, like, he got a kick out of that. I go, and then I told him about Will. I was like, oh yeah, he's like my own personal Microsoft helpline.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be honest though. Like the first day, I'm like, oh, who's really knowledgeable about computers? You should talk to Will.
Will's knowledge of computers. Yeah, I think this is how it's supposed to work, but let's let them never know that.
Okay. You downplay your shit a lot.
I mean, I do, but I also am just like, my knowledge isn't the most extensive. I'm just willing to put the effort behind into trying to make it work.
Right.
That I think is
you do that.
thing.
Why?
And the thing is, like, there's other people who probably do know more than you, but they're arrogant fucks, so you don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, that is very true.
I never actually heard Will say he was great at computers. I just remember asking someone questions, and they pointed me in Will's direction.
Will's good at software.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where Will's name got dropped a lot.
It's not the hardware; it's the software.
Oh yeah. I have access to that and like triplicates and stuff. Kind of know my way around things.
You're the fucking merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Dude, of course I am.
Yeah.
Still am to this day. Still am that merchant.
Was in the corner.
Be that
I
merchant.
hear you need help with Photoshop.
Yeah. You look like you need things. What you buying?
No. I don't think I never played RE4.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I know of that character, I just never played it. Because I remember back in the day when G4 was around, they took that character and ran with it in skits.
Oh my god, they did. Yeah.
So, well, X played it, I should say. So, they like that character.
It's a good character to, like, use in the right creepy moments and, like, for comedic purposes as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I remember of that character, because I didn't play RE4. I didn't really play any Resident Evil, to be honest, except 2 when I was like, what was I, 11, 12? I don't know. Yeah. Playing in the dark with my cousin, and around the holidays, fucking alligator comes up out of goddamn nowhere.
God.
In the sewers.
That fucking thing.
Yeah. Fucking pitch. There's something I wanted to get to.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, just to get back into to get into things I don't want to talk about. Actually, there's one little thing I wanted to bitch about before bitching about this thing. So, was it Monday or Sunday? It was a day. It was one that ended in a Y. That much I know.
All right.
So I am gonna go on Gears of War. I'm gonna play a game. I'm gonna play some King of the Hill. And I get in there and I get into the game. It takes forever to, the match to start up. I love it when they say less than a minute and it's like 2 minutes have gone by, 2.5 minutes have gone by.
Yeah.
It's like, get me in a fucking game. Finally get into a game and I'm running around and all of a sudden I realize I see my players, my teammates, start running and they're just like, they're glitched and running into a wall. And I'm looking around and everyone's doing that. And I get kicked from the whole game back to the main menu. So I go back, try to get into the game again, get kicked again. This happens like 3 times. Nothing, and in other game modes it's happening. So what the hell's going on? So I said, okay, fuck it. It's probably something wrong with Gears of War. Go play For Honor. Won't even get to the main menu.
That's not good.
Yeah, try playing Diablo 3. They can't connect to the servers.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's like no online thing was working for me. And then I found out like a day or two later that it's like, oh yeah, Xbox has been having these really bad outages. And it's like, why the hell didn't they say that? Like, why isn't that plastered on all the news sites that I have for games,
Yeah, that's...
Because, I was really frustrated because all I wanted to do was play a fucking game.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was like, I mean, my goal right now is to get to level 50 in Gears 4. I have not done that yet. That's all I want to do. Can't fucking do it.
That's fucking annoying.
Yeah. But I've been finally able to play recently. But still, it was just annoying. And I probably had yesterday did make up for it because I probably had one of the most intense matches I've ever had in King of the Hill.
Yeah.
I mean, they like we played 3 rounds and every one of them was down to the wire. So that was wonderful. And Shotgun City. I mean, everyone was just using shotguns because that's all you can use in King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Because it's the most effective. It's not all you can use.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm just gripe about that a little bit. Because it kind of like I was like aggravated about this and bitching about it, and then I kept thinking this is why people were mad at Always Online.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably, but at the same time, get over it on that level.
Yes.
I mean, it's one thing when you don't get a notification right away, though. Like especially for Microsoft, where they're like, "Hey, the Xbox network's down," right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they could have messaged every Xbox user.
Exactly. Like, for instance, the only company I know who's actually good about it is Blizzard. And that's because all their games are online all the time.
Right.
Like, they have to. But, what was it? Right? The day 5 of the For Honor launch? The servers were down.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and, like, no one knew, and they all had to Google it.
God.
And that was like everyone's being super pissed. Was like, Ubisoft, we know you don't have dedicated servers, and we're already pissed about that. But tell us, because a bunch of people want to play this fucking game.
Seriously. I mean, at that point, they're losing, like, revenue, in a sense.
Oh, yeah.
Well, For Honor's already losing it, so...
Yeah.
I think, like, last week I heard half its player base has dropped, so...
That's so
like I said last week, because I've been monitoring that, its PC user base is probably dead now.
Oh, Jesus.
And it's having heavy...
If it ever existed.
It's having heavy drop-offs in Xbox, but surprisingly high retention rate in PS4. Which is... I think that's also just has to do with the PS4 network having the least amount of connection problems, from what I hear.
Gotcha.
But it could be. I don't know.
But then again, like, it doesn't really fix any of the other problems, like not having dedicated servers and the buying steel packs and stuff.
Yeah.
So unless Ubisoft fixes some of that stuff, I mean, the game's fun and will probably have a dedicated fan base that's small,
right?
And that's good for the game for people who want to play it. But it's not good for Ubisoft, who has this, microtransaction build that's going to fall apart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know what'll happen with Foreigner. I don't know if it'll all of a sudden get a second wind like Rainbow Six Siege and become a good hit within a year, or if it will just be one of those things like, well, that was a nice idea.
I honestly...
Maybe you should rethink it in the second iteration.
I honestly think they might have to pull a Turtle Rock.
What do you mean?
They were the guys who made Evolve.
What, go free to play?
Or at least lessen the price of the game overall, and then compensate people who paid into the $60 price range. Because
I don't know if they'll do that. I mean, this is
it's Ubisoft. Yeah, no, they
won't
proud.
do that.
They don't bow down easily.
No, they won't do that, and they have their plan for this game, so they're gonna stick with that plan. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
No, I know you're right. I just, I think it's dumb.
Oh, yeah, it's obviously dumb.
Silly Ubisoft.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, speaking of dumb. And speaking of games in general, I'm going to phase into this thing, and I'm going to phase into something that we'll talk about, and you'll catch on. So, Iron Fist premiered Friday, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think people know. People don't know. If you don't know, it's another Marvel movie, and he's going to be one of the Defenders in whatever Netflix series that's going to be in the next year or two. So, and all the other Netflix Marvel shows have done pretty well. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't really have any desire to watch Iron Fist. It's just, it doesn't, it never, like, oh, Iron Fist, what's that? Oh, he's like a superhero that, like, knows martial arts. Like every superhero? I mean, Batman knows martial arts, for fuck's sake. And there's, like, mysticism to it. So, critics apparently panned it. Like, it got, like, an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it got really, really bad. Now, this is where the ignorance comes in. They kept calling the show whitewashed.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, they kept calling the show whitewashed, and like, oh, Danny Rand, he's a whitewashed character. They just, it would have been better if he was cast, with an Asian, an Asian actor. They could have easily done that. The character in the comic is white.
Right.
Yeah.
He is every comic book character, more or less. He's what do Oliver Queen, Bruce Wayne, Tony Stark, and this motherfucker Danny Rand have in common? They're rich white guys.
Yes.
Who were trained in some sort of, well, not for the exception of maybe Tony Stark, were all trained by some sort of mysticist, weird dude with, martial arts skills.
Right.
So the majority of the reviews, and the reason why a lot of people panned it, was because they were, like, criticizing that they thought it was whitewashed.
That's being pretentious without fucking actually knowing the source material.
Right
there.
Right? Yeah, so I'm hearing all this, I'm like, it wasn't whitewashed. You know, like he was never Asian to begin with. It was like it's this it's very pretentious ignorance, and yeah, go ahead.
Well, I've heard that the show kind of sucks just because like it's kind of slow. It doesn't do a good job explaining things.
That's what I've heard as well.
Yeah, like I've heard people complain about the show because it's bad. That's just written bad.
Yeah, I had a discussion with someone on Saturday about it, and they're like, "Yeah, the show's just kind of boring. The actor that plays the main character doesn't help that, and like he was mentioning something about his connection to other Marvel characters." And how, like, there shouldn't be a way where they could be connected. I think he was like, the character mentioned something about how him and Peter Parker were friends. But if that's the case, like, how can we have a upcoming movie for Spider-Man if this is
who's still in high school and this character is in his mid-20s?
Correct. Yes. So, like, I feel there was a lot of issues with, like...
what kind of relationship do you have with Peter Parker?
With storytelling and stuff. Like, it
sounds like they just grabbed all the different storyline connections and just jammed them in there. They're like, oh, yeah, and, you know, in this universe, he's friends with Peter Parker, so we'll just jam it in with this universe where he was orphaned as a young boy, you know? Like,
yeah. And mind you, I've watched none of it. And it was a lot due to the fact where, you know, after talking with my buddy, I was like, man, this show doesn't sound good. It sounds real bad.
From honest reviews that I've heard, it's not an 18% like low rating, but it is very slow and it doesn't grab most people.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't move where you want it to move. And for that, it's very frustrating.
Yes.
It's not a great thing. It's not a great thing. It's not terrible either. So, like, you know, this 18% isn't undeserved, but it's also kind of ridiculous that fans are lashing back at critics by giving it, like, this tremendous score with user reviews.
Yeah.
I think the user reviews are, like, 85% or 90%.
Ridiculous.
But that's hilarious because there's this weird sense of balance with shit like that. So fans were pissed off that, Breath of the Wild got so high praise that they made their user reviews to bring it down.
This is why you take everything with a grain of salt.
Right. It's mind-blowing. It's just two subjects that I wanted to hit on, which was like the stupid user reviews and these idiotic critics that don't know the actual source material. If you looked up Iron Fist comics, you'd see the comic. It's a white dude. It was never an Asian guy. Never.
Now,
he was just a white dude who knows martial arts.
Someone pointed this out once, actually. This was around the time Doctor Strange was premiering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is the white guy who gets the mystic training from the Far East Asian person is a overdone, like, story type, right?
It's a trope that's been done a lot. Yeah.
And like, granted, Ashley was like, well, that's what Doctor Strange is. And I'm like, that's true. But Doctor Strange said it a little bit differently because most of the time of that story type, right, that archetype, the character goes in looking for the master, believing.
Uh-huh.
And Doctor Strange goes in not believing, right? And that's a little bit more dynamic. The thing about Iron Fist, and what kind of makes him boring in my eyes, is you don't even see him go through that fucking Far East mystical journey. He just, he gets orphaned there.
Right.
Yeah. And that's his whole world. And so I think I'm really critical of Iron Fist because as a character, it's like one of his storylines is he's raised in the monastery. He is the chosen one, right?
Yeah.
And then he has to go back to, New York and reassimilate his old modern life that he never lived.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, that's weird because a lot of times in the comics, he just flawlessly sifts back into reality, like the modern society.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I don't believe that because I'm like, you live with like fucking Shaolin masters in Tibet for like most of your life.
That's not that. That's not his world, then.
Yeah.
New
Yeah.
York is never his world.
No, it's not.
You can't, like, if you're raised in Africa, like, let's say you're American, your parents were American, you're a white dude, and you're born in Africa, and you grow up in Africa, and you know you have African friends, and you can speak Swahili or whatever, that doesn't mean, okay, now you have to go back to America and be American.
Right.
Well, basically,
That doesn't work. No, you're a fucking African.
Well, basically, Iron Fist is just another take on Tarzan, really. Like,
Oh, guys, stretch, but okay.
well, no, I mean, it's a similar thing. He basically gets orphaned in a place where he is raised by a people who are not of the norm, right? And then when you take him out of the norm, you'd expect him to not fit in, but the character just does it seamlessly, and it's like, I don't like. I'm just like, I don't feel like he would. I feel like it'd be more like or at least like with what they did with Nolan's Batman. You know, Bruce comes back and he's kind of like off-put by society.
Yeah. Well, it's also the fact that, he grew up in the society first, and then went and got in trouble, and then went and got trained.
Yeah,
That's the difference between these two.
But at least when he went through the training, he kind of grew accustomed to like the other, like the life that he started when he went down that path. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like he didn't try to play both worlds. I feel like with Iron Fist, what they want him to do, Iron Fist, yeah, is they want him to play both lines of, like, the mystical person from Far East Asia and the business mogul in New York. And I'm like, he can't be both. Yeah. He can never.
It would have been better. It'd be better if he played it like Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from Twins, who's just totally clueless about the modern world.
I love that movie.
About what America is, and he's just totally clueless and humble and kind of a jolly person, and then, you discover that he can, like, just beat the shit out of people. Yeah. That would have been a better story element, I think. But this whole whitewashing bullshit and critics being so pretentious they don't even know the actual material is hilarious. And then on the flip side of that is fans trying to correct this retarded imbalance that they foresee. It's like, well, if you like it, you like it. Go. Look, example, audience, if you listen, the 3, 4, 5 of you, one of you, Quinn, you if you listen, I don't play Magic. Mm-hmm. Will and Shane, these fuckers, they play Magic. I don't fucking care if they play Magic. Yeah. They play Magic. They spend hundreds of dollars on it. Good for them. Waste your money on that. What do we have in common? Video games, life, movies, the alma mater we went D&D, to, this goddamn podcast, D&D, many things. You don't have to correct an imbalance, because there's no imbalance. It's... I
think the worst part of that, though, too, is, like, to be honest, I don't know of anyone who's ever a true diehard Iron Fist fan.
Yeah, it is probably like
he's such an outlier.
When I heard it was coming, I was like, I don't know this character. I mean, he's like a D-class superhero, and at the same time, it's like you went from Daredevil, he's up there as far as superheroes go in the comic world, to Iron Fist. It's kind of a weak thing. Luke Cage, I think, is somewhat up there, and so is Jessica Jones, but at the same time, it's just as like, why?
His character is definitely more stereotypical, which I think does not lend to telling an interesting story. It's not that it's impossible. No. It's just we've seen it, like, fucking, that's Green Arrow's story, that's Batman's story, that's a number of superhero stories done differently across the board here and there, but by and large, it's the same fucking thing. And so,
well, like, I've seen Iron Fist in a lot of crossovers, and a lot of team ups.
Oh yeah,
but I've never.
That's probably where it excels.
Yeah, no, it is, because, like, he brings balance to, like, really weird team combinations, right?
Yes.
Like what they're doing now, the Defenders, right? Whatever bullshit it is. And, like, okay,
Defenders.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, that's cool, but him on his own, I've never once been
bullshit.
Like, I want to read this Iron Fist storyline.
Sure.
I've never once been like that. Iron Fist and Daredevil,
I don't like the way he's
that's
drawn.
Awesome.
I don't like the way he's drawn either in the comics. He's very elongated, and I think that's modern representations of it now, and I don't care for the style of the art of the comic, and I don't really care for the character. I'm probably not going to watch this fucking show, and that's just me. You know, but to coincide with what Will might talk about is to go the user review shit. Mm-hmm. So Mass Effect came out, and so you had game critics who reviewed it. It has a ton of controversy. One animator, one woman who's worked on it was harassed,
and then you found out that wasn't even her job.
Yeah, exactly. There's a ton of shit about Andromeda, but then you have for some reason people want this game to fail without ever really playing.
Right.
So we have user reviews bringing the score down.
Yeah, and
it's so bizarre,
and it's very unfair for this game. That and you know, I haven't gotten fully deep into the game yet. I'm maybe 3 hours into actually playing the game, and you know, part of that was just kind of setting up the characters the way I wanted them to look. It's of the Mass Effect games, it definitely so far for me has kind of felt the weakest. That said, the gameplay aspect of it is actually fun. Shit feels really fluid. Using your abilities is awesome. Your character isn't just locked into oh, I'm biotic, I can only be a biotic, or oh, my character's tech, I can only be locked into tech. Your character can actually be as much as you do have a starting class, that can go out the window the moment you're given access to leveling up your character. And you can level that character up how you want them to be. So, hell, you want to play the tactical sniper who also happens to be a biotic, who's a psychopath who lifts people up into the air and then snipes them in the head and watches their bodies clatter to the ground? Great. You want to charge in and be some pyro-wielding hacker? By all means, please do that. But where the game kind of gets not so good is the likability of certain characters and kind of the dialogue. And so far for me, for the little bit I've played, the dialogue's kind of boring.
Okay, I haven't heard anything about that. I've heard frustrations with the dialogue because there's no Paragon Renegade system.
That is true. Your input to characters feels worthless. You could just to give you an idea, I'd probably if I was in one of those dialogue trees in the real world and I looked at a person and I arbitrarily said maybe they're asking for feedback, and then I just look them in the eyes and go, I masturbate regularly, they give me a weird look. In the new Mass Effect, I'm pretty sure I'd get a, well, that's an interesting, and then move on with dialogue and be you barely emoted. You barely gave an emotional response.
That's unfortunate considering what its predecessor did.
I think that was just the best example you could ever give.
Considering
seriously,
any game with a dialogue tree, any game where emotion needs to be put into a character, this game just feels bland. Here, I'll give a little bit of a spoiler for the very beginning of the game, and for the most part, there have been a lot of first 15 or first 25 of the game. Your dad dies in the very beginning of the game, and the character's emotion, Nick, was that. Oh no. It was. I was you've just woken up after 600 years. You've not seen this man in God knows how long. And also, funny enough, one of the dialogue paths you can decide to go is, I don't know this man. I don't know what he's like. We've not interacted with this man. And I was why? What the fuck? So
that's some edgy teenage bullshit right there.
Your character's not even a teenager.
I know.
He's probably 20. He's probably 25 or so, or she.
Yeah, mid-20s.
Yeah, and but it just was why give that as a dialogue option? Why make it so I don't give a fuck about some old man dying when it's the main character's father? What the fuck, man? And, like, I get that you're trying to, like, you know, cap him off early so that you can shove the rest of, like, the reason why your character's important onto this dude. But come the fuck on, at least, like, make me go, oh my god, this man who's my father is dead. This man who probably, like, helped me get to this point in my life is fucking gone. All I know is he's just some N7 officer who also became the Pathfinder for my arc, and who basically was like, yep, we'll get here. And also, for some reason, everybody's more emotional that the ranking Pathfinder for the humans is dead, and my character goes, yeah, I guess he's dead. We should fight on. We should not be worn down by our emotions. We should carry on. We should think of them kindly as we move on. And I was like, the whole time I'm like, why? Why even have had him as the main Pathfinder? Why not?
I feel like you shouldn't have, like, a dialogue option there.
Yeah.
I feel like you should just have a really long cutscene where your character's overly emotional.
It would have been
possibly
better.
Has a breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it just was so just, it felt so shitty. Like, fucking A, you could have just made you and your sister the ranking Pathfinders. And you could have dealt without the emotion, the quote-unquote emotional trip of your father dying. Like, it would have been fine. He basically sacrifices himself to save you. You could have given it to some other fucking schmuck who's like, the Pathfinder must live, and sacrifice himself. I still could have gotten the same emotional value out of it. Like, one of my crewmen died. That's kind of a bummer. It's so weak.
It's very weak.
Like so far, I made it to kind of the replacement for the Citadel in the game, which is called the Nexus, and it just, like, the people there, I get shit's been, like, bad for them, but, like, you know, they talk about people rebelling, and, like, this, like, scourge totally, like, takes out half of their people. And I just was, like, sitting here, I'm like, man, this place doesn't look so bad for, like, shit really hitting the fan. And then only happening, like, you know, 14 months ago or so. Like, shit looks pretty alright. I mean, it's not moving fast, but, like, nothing's wrong. And people, like, have this, they're either, like, freaking the fuck out, or they're like, yep, that's how things are right now. Like, what? Like, give me some emotion. Give me, like, and their fucking faces aren't helping it at all. You know how kind of Skyrim and Fallout have always been bashed as having kind of the uncanny valley syndrome of just, like, characters with, you know, emotions in the vocals and the faces that don't reflect it.
Yeah.
This one's doing a damn good job of competing for a new game to do such a thing. And it drives me bonkers. I'm like, we're in a day and age where there's a lot of good mocap software out there. Like, there's a lot of good software out there to, like, emulate sadness and frustration in a person's face. And it's not there in any character. Like, there's this woman that you meet, like, in the Nexus, and like, she's freaking out that your dad's dead. And she's kind of berating you and is belligerent. But her face reads shocked. Her eyes are, like, fucking, like, the size of $50. And, like, her brow kind of is raised up a little bit. So, like, her face doesn't read anger and displeasement. It reads, oh my god, what did I have to deal with today? Oh god. Like, you know, being spooked by every little movement. It just doesn't reflect it well enough.
Do you think the game was rushed?
Maybe. I could foresee that. I can see that being a contributing issue, that, like, they had a deadline. They weren't anywhere close to where they wanted to be for said deadline, and they had to put out a game. And it just, it just, oh god, it just doesn't like feel good. Also, so far there isn't like a side character that I've met, and again, I've only met like 2 probably. That I'm like, yeah, I have an emotional attachment to you. It's more like, hey, you're a crew member. How you doing? I guess you're with me because I need you. Like, in the first Mass Effect, people knew what characters they liked. People loved Gareth. People love Rex. People love Tali. You could ask a person who's played the Mass Effect games. They can tell you what characters they played with throughout each game, who they decided to have a relationship with their character to like fall in love with, and romanticize. What kind of emotional struggle they dealt with in the third game for certain characters. Players can tell you that. I don't think this game may have that. But again, I'm really early into the game. But just kind of like the little bits of review I read, that sounds like a contributing factor that there's no star character. There's no... Yeah, in this age. And like I hate referring to like, I hate looking at games of like it's AAA or bust, but that's how the market is these days. And this was kind of a bust for a AAA. And that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other conversation. I mean, there has to be... I saw this whole video on why games cost $60, and there's a good reason they cost $60, and we're lucky that they don't cost more.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But, and that's the reason that season passes exist, to make up the difference. But, do you think you'll finish it?
Yeah, I'm going to finish it.
You're not going to like toss it aside and say, fuck this shit, but you're probably going to finish
Technomancer did that. And the reason why Technomancer did that is because that game was borderline unplayable.
Right. Well, you've done that with a few games. I know Technomancer was one, and AC3 was one.
Well, I ended up beating Assassin's Creed 3 through...
I thought you just...
No, I wanted to...
I thought you tossed it.
No, through sheer agony, I 100%ed the... Dude, yeah. I 100%ed the main game. And, like, that's a game, like, as much as I'm, like, bitching about the kind of things that I've had to deal with so far, that I've kind of interacted with, Andromeda is still by far a better game than Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 had a lot of failures. Technomancer is same issue. Right. And Technomancer did it even worse, where there was a lot more promise and failure to deliver. At least within, like, at least what I'm expecting is I'm dealing with a Mass Effect game. But so far, I'm dealing with a Mass Effect game where the kind of great portions of it are the combat and not the storytelling. And that's not how I felt about most BioWare games. I've always felt the story was good and the gameplay was alright.
Yeah, that's what I get from most things I've seen.
So I'm bummed. My opinion may change as like I get deeper in, but just this kind of initial feeling of just like the kind of intro bit took too long. There was no emotional connection with the kind of a character's family member dying after not seeing him for 600 years. I figured you'd be ecstatic to see the person, and one of your fucking dialogue options is, I don't know about this man. Like, what the fuck, man? God, irksome. Just irksome. But I will complete this game. It's fun enough for me to want to complete it. That's just good. To what degree I'll complete it, it's kind of varied on me.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll get it.
I would like to anybody who hasn't picked it up, I'd say hold off on picking it up. Potentially wait for it to go on sale, and maybe you're having a different experience than I am, and if you are, man, I'm really happy for you. But I feel like this game is lacking, and there's even a fucking multiplayer portion attached to it, which I don't want to go into.
This is one of those things where it's like,
maybe they spent too much time focusing on multiplayer and not the story. And that seems really weird, considering that this is a story-centric game where the multiplayer lends to kind of the central story. Because it does. There is like a system of things that, like, if you play the multiplayer, it'll give you some extra stuff in the single player. So it's just like, I don't know what kind of happened. Maybe it was rushed. But yeah, it's frustrating.
Okay, fair enough. That was a little bit of a mess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A little bit of Mass Effect.
And then you went on the right.
Yeah, dude, it's... I can also mention I finished Horizon Zero Dawn. And that...
Oh, well, yeah, you'll talk the ear off of that.
I'll keep it short and concise this time. I really loved Horizon. I put about 58 hours into it. I got all the trophies available for that game. And, you know, it's very easily doable without grinding, which I thought was great. The thing is, you want to quote-unquote grind because hunting monsters is fun. That's an awesome mechanic of this game, is hunting the wildlife. So, for me, and, you know, I haven't played every game that's out there this year, that's come out this year, but for me, this is game of the year. It's a new IP that I think just hit all the right marks.
Whoa. Yeah, a lot of people are feeling that way. And at the same time, I don't know of another game that's coming out. Well, it's not a new IP. God of War's not a new IP.
Mm-hmm. And, like...
But...
another game that definitely is in that same contention. And I've not played it, but I know is very well... doing very well. Breath of the Wild. And so for me, Horizon, it's new IP, and they just knocked it out of the park. And this is not me fanboying about the company, which I do enjoy, but yeah.
It's interesting about Game of the Year. Okay, I want to talk about Logan since we all saw it. But the weird thing about Game of the Year is, okay, so I have Shadow of Mordor, the Game of the Year edition, which has everything. Yeah. And I have other games that are similar to that. I have Game of the Year editions of everything else. Uh-huh. And I think what?
I said,
Yeah. And I think I saw this, like, I think it was Half-Life 2 won 50 some odd Game of the Year awards or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
Saying something's Game of the Year to me is kind of ridiculous because it's like, because 50 games in the year can be Game of the Year, you know. But if you go to movies, one movie can be Best Picture,
right?
Yeah,
it's so crazy.
Just if you read the right envelope,
yes. I think though, for like all the games I've played so far this year, as of right now, Horizon is, personally for me, my game of the year. My most enjoyable gaming experience. And I've played I've played a good amount on my PS4. So, you know, for me, yeah, I cannot, like, I love recommending Horizon to people. Because I think it's if you enjoy a third person explorer, it's the right game for you. And
I do. I just don't have a PS4.
I know, like that's one of those things that, like, I'm bummed about, that only PS4 users get to experience it. But hell, if you have friends and they're willing to let you borrow your PS4, do your friends a favor. Let them play this great game. All right.
So that means you're going to let me borrow your PS4?
I know.
Fuck you.
I'm still playing Mass Effect. That's going to sink some hours in.
Yeah. What was funny was my buddy Derek let my friend Adam borrow his PS4.
Oh, yeah?
It was just so he could play Until Dawn.
Oh, wow.
And he wanted to play it. It was like a $15 game now.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember, though, I was giving him so much grief because apparently he had to replay it because some of the kids died. And I was like, man, you bought a $15 game that anyone can 100% the first try, and you have to waste his time on that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, granted, to be fair though, I mean, if you try to be a morally good person, you will kill characters until dawn.
Oh yeah, you'll kill a number of characters.
But if you make each character act selfishly,
surprisingly,
they will all live.
Says something about the writer's thought on people.
It definitely does.
Also, I like how we talked about how games can have multiple Game of the Years.
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the fact that Until Dawn was one of the few games that was up for a fucking film award.
Yeah.
And
that's hilarious.
And it's because the people who worked on it worked in films.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a very cinematic game.
Oh yeah.
I didn't really want to play it, so and that game was like, oh, that game. Oh, okay. They took an actress and put her in. They digitized. I don't like that. It's the same. It's the thing that ticks me off about what was a Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and they took Kevin Spacey and put him in the game.
Oh God, yeah.
They did the same thing with Kit Harington in the last COD game, and it's like, stop doing this. They could just be a voice. Kevin Spacey has a voice.
Yeah, he does.
And you could have made a better character than just digitizing Kevin Spacey.
But Nick, I need to see John Schneer's face as he tries to tell me I'm not going to save this universe.
Shut the fuck up. No, you don't. You don't need anything.
Right.
Fucking piece of shit.
Alright, so we're going to move on to a topic that we all enjoy.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That we all got a chance to experience.
Precursor now, spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely spoiler warning. Yeah, definitely spoiler warning. So, we all saw Logan. I think we all saw Logan on the same day.
We did.
Did we all see it on Friday?
2 hours earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw it on Friday, Will, and I think they saw it on Friday.
Crazy.
Yeah.
About 3 hours apart.
So, I'm going to start this off now.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That fucking first scene where he kills those guys trying to steal his tires.
Holy shit.
I love how the person who directed this was just like, I want them to know that this is rated R. I want there to be no doubts.
I said the same thing. Like, in the first 5 minutes, they're like, this was like, hey, you wanted a rated R Wolverine? This is a rated R Wolverine movie. See, it's a rated R Wolverine movie. See? Because the first line of the entire movie is fuck.
Yeah.
Yep.
A coughing, gag, hungover fuck. And then he kills 3 people.
Dude, it's a fuck that we've all experienced at one point or another.
I really enjoy how he gets out. He stumbles. Mm-hmm. He sees that they're trying to steal his tires. And his first words goes, guys, those are chrome plated. And if you keep trying to force it, you're going to strip it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He tries to give him his advice. And you know, when they shot at the car, he got more aggravated at that. I thought, like, Professor Xavier was in the car for a second.
Yeah, I thought someone important was in there.
Yeah, I thought, like, someone was in the car. No, it wasn't. He was just, this is my job. Don't shoot the car.
Right?
Yeah. I loved the... right in the first 15 minutes when he's driving the different clients around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the transitions between all of those.
Yeah.
Because it gives you that feeling that, you know, that his days blur together.
I didn't get that. I just got the fact that this is what he's been doing.
Well, I mean, like,
and this is just it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the storyline for him at that point. He's very jaded. And, you know, basically, like, every day is just kind of like a drag. It's just fucking day in, day out. Granted, this one was a bit more emotional start than, like, the actual Old Man Logan comic storyline goes.
Yeah, and at the same time, Old Man Logan he's a pacifist.
Yeah, he's given up on fighting.
He doesn't want to pop his claws. In this one, he pops his claws and he has trouble popping one.
Dude,
he has to pull it out.
That was a vicious scene to watch. Just like
where he pulls it out.
Yeah, where he has to pull it out just so like he basically is in a sense flexing his muscles and like kind of feeling out the kind of pain, the aches and groans. And it was just like that. Oh, that fucking looks like it's painful.
Yeah. It's a phenomenal movie, and Daphne Keane, who played Laura X-23, she'll go far.
Oh yeah.
If she wants to stick with acting, she'll go fucking far.
Yeah. So
if not, she'll be recognized quite well. So
yeah,
I like how I was waiting for her to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, I know this character knows how to talk. They're not... Now, granted, when she smacked him, that was like...
Which part?
What was it? It's when she's trying to explain where to go. And she keeps repeating the names, and then she hits him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's great because, like, he obviously doesn't really care for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she hits him, and he gives you that look that, like a dog gives you a look where it's like you've insulted the dog even though, like, you didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he gives her that look where he's like, "Why the hell did you hit me?" And I'm like, you're kind of being a dick.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know what you mean. Yeah, it was... The thing is, like, she was 12 years old and she did this movie, and she did something in a movie that I think is... She told everything with just the looks and the things she did. And for her not to speak for like an hour and a half, that's a hell of a thing.
It also finally made like her speaking way more impactful.
Yeah. When she finally spoke and she said "Denada," he was like, "What? Okay, I knew that was gonna happen, but."
You know, it was really funny. Every time she got close to someone, because of her actions and because how well she like did that really disgruntled behavior. I, like when she got really up in Logan's face, I thought she was gonna bite him, and I would have believed it. like every time she like got really close to a person, like, is she just gonna bite the fucker? And actually, when she got really close to the kid listening to his headphones, I was like, oh, don't fuck him up. Come on, he didn't do anything.
Dude, I had the same reaction, Shane, of like, please don't hurt him, please don't hurt him, please don't hurt him.
Yeah.
That's how you know someone's convincing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, she'll go far. The thing, I'm going to say, I partly didn't like the whole X-24 thing.
Well, that's just for this movie, and it felt really weird.
Yeah, it felt really weird, but... Yeah, other than that, I mean, that's like one little gripe. Other than that, I think the movie was great. And the guy who I thought who should have been the main antagonist is the dude with the robot hand.
Yeah.
He should have been like powered up or something like that. Him and Wolverine should have gone.
I was expecting more of a fight between those two.
I was expecting him to come back with a new robot arm made of fucking adamantium.
Or something, yeah. But other than that, like, I mean, despite the X-24 thing, I thought this was, I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great, and I love the end sequence when they're in the woods, and the two of them are like feeding it, kind of like, you know, she like rolls off his back and then jumps at a guy, and it's this great little fight scene between father and daughter.
Yeah.
It was
which I thought was great.
Super choreographed well. It was fucking amazing.
So I have a fix for
father and daughter fight club.
So I have a semi fix for X-24.
Okay.
What?
Because I know Logan's supposed to be a standalone film. Even though it did have like it had kind of nods to other the previous Wolverine films.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course it did. I mean, Xavier mentioned the Statue of Liberty, which is the first film.
Yeah, but what I would have done was, instead of making X-24 a clone of him, I would have made it a clone of his brother.
Sabretooth?
Yeah, I would have done that,
Sabretooth.
because then at least it feels a little bit more contentious, like there's a bit more of like a reliving a really shitty memory.
Yeah, but that would be reliving a shitty movie.
Yeah, but like that's the only fix, like... And the only thing you got out of X-24 was him killing Charles.
Right, yeah, I know, which was a hell of a moment. I knew that was coming. But how it came, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, that was pretty emotional, especially when he was trying to, like, say his final words after burying him. Like, there's water, and it's all he could get out is there's water and there's trees.
Yeah.
And then, she tries comforting him, and he brushes her off. And then he beats the hell out of that truck. I thought that was I liked that you saw it from a distance.
Oh yeah, you didn't want to be close on that. You wanted to be as far back as possible.
Yeah, well, the whole thing was you were focused with Laura.
Yeah,
That was the audience was with Laura at that point, because if you notice the camera, everything was at her level.
Yeah.
But the fix with X-24 is to not have X-24. You don't have Sabretooth clone, you don't have a Wolverine clone, you just don't have it. That's my opinion, anyway.
Yeah,
it was,
and I don't want to see Sabretooth after Origins. I just don't. I don't want to see the version in X-Men Last Stand. I don't want to see it in Wolverine Origins. I just no.
Such a great character thrown away.
Yeah, well, throw him away and leave him there.
Yeah, I know,
because they didn't execute it well enough. So fuck it.
So really quick, because they made a point of bringing up how Charles was watching those old cowboy films.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you guys actually notice all the different nods to cowboy films from that point on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I noticed a cowboy film from the get go. I mean, he's in the desert on a border town.
Yeah.
That's cowboy right then and there.
I just thought the whole thing was just like such a great build up.
Yeah.
Like
it was definitely
different moments.
Yeah, it was definitely a Western film for sure.
But there's one that I specifically take out where I was like, they actually just stole this from the book Shane.
What?
It's when the guys, basically the guy in the cowboy hat shows up with his goons to harass the farm owner.
Mm.
Yeah,
that's literally out of the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because all these guys moved in and they're trying to force us off our land, whatever. And the guy brings muscle, and then of course the farm owner has Shane. In this case,
right?
The guy had fucking Wolverine, fucking nearly break the guy's head.
Yeah, right. That was a great moment. I thought it was a great moment when he broke the shotgun and headbutted the guy, and the farmer's pointing the gun. I thought that was just like a beautiful framework, right, with the two of them, Logan and the farmer. I thought that was awesome. Speaking of the whole Shane thing, when they're watching the movie in the hotel, Patrick Stewart apparently improvised that whole little memory he had about seeing that movie in his hometown when he was a kid. That was all improvised.
It felt genuine.
That was
I felt really
good.
genuine.
That whole scene was really amazing.
You know what I also discovered about this film? Its cost, considering comic book movies nowadays, the cost of this movie was only $97 million.
That's pretty fucking good for it.
Yeah, that's dirt fucking cheap, considering that the two next Avenger movies are going to be like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about it, like the amount of special effects, right?
Right.
Like, a lot of it is actually mostly practical effects.
Which is great.
It sells a lot of things.
You say that, but there was actually a lot of CGI, more than people thought, because what they did was, for the car chase, they had basically a stunt driver who, could say looked like Hugh Jackman, driving, and they put dots on his face, and then they just kind of overlaid Hugh Jackman.
Oh, nice.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of CGI worked into that film. I don't like people say, "Oh, I love this movie because there's very little CGI." There's CGI. There's more CGI in films than you care to think.
Well, I'd say there's like none, but the best way to put it is like they did a good use of it because obviously you couldn't see it. Like,
I mean, it's a big difference from like going to nowhere, the flying giant celestial being in Guardians of the Galaxy, which of course is CGI, and being stuck in war as Mexico.
I mean, I was thinking more like those obvious green screens in The Hobbit, but
there's those fucking glaring moments. Yeah,
let's never just speak of those ever again. Atrocity.
You gotta do it at least once a while.
I know.
Yeah,
but
it was a great film. I love Stephen Merchant.
Yeah,
as Caliban.
Oh yeah,
he was great. I thought he was better. He was a better Caliban than, because I recently watched X-Men Apocalypse, which wasn't as terrible as a lot of people say. In my opinion, it's not fantastic, and it will definitely, I think, wrap up all of that first class stuff. And there's something there's shit in there that just didn't need to belong and whatever, but where was I going with this shit? I completely fucking
Caliban.
forgot. Oh, Caliban. Caliban's in X-Men First Class. I mean, X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah. And he's really annoying. Mm-hmm. He has maybe 5 minutes. And he speaks in the third person.
Oh, God, that sounds annoying.
And he's like... He does like black market dealings of transporting people out of countries and stuff like that. So he's like interested in money. That Caliban was bullshit. The Caliban that Stephen Merchant played, I thought was way better. Especially his sacrifice at the end, I thought was great. Or towards the end.
What a way to go out.
Yeah.
Went out like a champ.
Dude, like, it's the best way to redeem yourself is to fuck them up as much as humanly possible.
I don't think he redeemed himself. I think he was trying to just help his friend out. There's no...
It's a redemption in the sense that, like, he'd led these people to, honestly, people that gave, like, 2 fucks about him. Like, tried to give him a better life. And he fucked that up. And so for him to go out the way he did, I'd say it's a bit of a redemption. Like, he nearly killed some of the more important people.
I like that this version of Caliban, he felt like a Morlock. Which is, Morlocks are like the underground mutants, the ones who can't pass off as a normal person.
Okay.
They're like, basically, they're mutants whose powers are so strong that their bodies have to adapt to make, so that they can, actually use them.
I just realized something about X-Men Apocalypse.
What?
So we're going back and forth between 2 different movies. So there's a scene in Apocalypse where it's Jean Grey, Jubilee, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler walking out of a movie theater. Mm-hmm. And Nightcrawler is, again, all blue. Got the teeth and everything. Got the fucking tail. He's wearing a Michael Jackson red leather jacket. But he's walking out in public as a blue dude. And I'm like, don't, like... Wouldn't people be freaking out? I mean, that's the whole point. Like, it just took me away. And that's the whole reason why Mystique is always, like, in human form, I guess. She's not in her traditional blue for most of the film. It was like, it took me out of the moment. Like, why aren't people freaking out at the blue guy walking around the fucking film? Walking around this goddamn hall?
I haven't seen that movie. Mm-hmm. But that's definitely something that's more from the 90s cartoon. Was like,
I guess.
Well, like that was the whole thing where a lot of the Driven stuff was, oh, there are mutants walking around being normal people, but they're not. And I'm a normal person, so therefore this is an affront to my belief, right? Like, that was kind of... characters like Nightcrawler are kind of what originally drove that conflict.
Fair enough.
Now, granted, it is a little weird when you have a bunch of other movies that already set the precedence that mutants can't be out in public.
Right.
Yeah. That's the point I'm making.
But I mean, but I feel like that's what they were trying to do because they brought in all these 90s characters, right?
Yeah.
Granted, like...
Well, Jubilee was definitely 80s.
Yeah.
She was 80s but lived in the 90s. That's the best way to describe Jubilee. But fuck that movie.
Okay.
Logan is probably the better of what comic movie? Okay, we have Guardians and we have Spider-Man. And we have Thor Ragnarok, which we still haven't gotten a fucking trailer for. All we get is that bullshit Thor on vacation.
Right.
Well, actually, we've gotten set photos.
I don't give a shit about set photos.
I know you don't, but like the only thing we've really gotten is Kate Blanchett in her costume.
Cast, yeah,
and we got Thor with
cast.
Short hair, which is everyone freaking out, and I'm like, and
well, yeah, freak out about the short hair. Like he still has the abs. Like the body hasn't changed.
I know, right?
Why are
he
you
still
upset?
looks like a supermodel, just with short hair.
Yeah. I don't get that. Okay, whatever.
That's
yeah. I think the only movie that could sort of stack up to this one, as far as comic books go, is maybe Thor. Because I know Thor Ragnarok, if done right, will go dark.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
I don't want to say
this movie's awesome.
Well, so like the way I look at
It was
Logan,
great drama.
Oh yeah, it was
a great drama.
The way I look at Logan though is I call it more of a superhero film, but I wouldn't say it was a comic book movie because it definitely strayed away from the comic, right? But it did it really well.
All of them have.
I mean, yeah.
All of them have. I mean, it's still a comic book movie. I mean, they can't make Old Man Logan because that just wouldn't work on film.
It really wouldn't.
Nah.
As verbatim as that comic is. A lot of aspects of comics don't work on film, so they have to fudge it.
I mean, yeah, but like they're at least able to still steal some key moments from comics. Mm-hmm. And like with Logan, I don't really feel like they did, which is good because they couldn't. And instead, what I think is they did was they took the concept of Old Man Logan, right?
Yeah,
and they gave it the respect it deserves by making it R-rated and then making it really a gut-wrenching drama. Like,
yeah, for sure.
By the way, did a part of you guys die when she took the cross and tilted it over?
I saw that coming. Like they had the cross there,
yeah,
for him, and I'm like, I thought it was gonna fall and be an X. That's what I thought. I thought the wind was going to tilt it, and it was also, boom, X or something like that. That's what it was going to be. And, she did it. I thought that gave a little bit more of a moment, but I still thought it was kind of schmaltzy.
The one thing I was super scared, like, super concerned about is if they were going to add, like, the classic X-Men logo. Yeah, because I was like, shit, it's coming up. It's coming up. Oh, thank Christ they didn't.
I would have been so mad.
A better moment would have been, instead of like a couple of twigs taped together or tied together, it would have been better if she took her claws out and just, on rocks did it. But she didn't do that. So the one thing I have to say about Laura is we only saw her claws on her foot once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those were like probably one of the better assets. Like, get more of those.
Seriously.
Because she can do some serious damage with that shit.
I like how Charles, just in the middle of the car chase, was like, you know why she has him on her feet, right?
Oh yeah.
It's because of gender. And he's like, oh, really? Interesting. He's like, just like lions. And I like how it's like that unwanted conversation you have with like an older grandparent.
Yeah.
Like they're giving you information that is actually quite interesting, but you're too distracted at the time to really appreciate it.
Being shot at. Shut up. I really like the whole road trip with Charles and everything like that, and I like the fact that he a few times in the movie he's like, "Shut the fuck up, Logan."
Yeah.
Or he basically told him, he's like, "Fuck you."
I like it when he was giving him the drugs. He's like, "You're a fucking failure."
Yeah. And he was insulting Caliban. It's like, just been us, leave me alone with that goddamn albino.
Yeah. Dude, they were not afraid to be super savage to each other in this movie.
No, they weren't. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. It was fantastic. And Patrick Stewart's performance in it was great.
Holy
too.
Crap. This is my favorite version of Xavier. Just like old, grumpy, and things just aren't working as well as they once did.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I thought it was
the
really
best part of the first one.
Yeah,
that's true. I thought it was really interesting to give a psychic the quote unquote ordinary disease like a dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever. I thought that was a hell of I thought that was a hell of an idea, because it's like, it's difficult when he has an episode and forgets or something like that, or he has a case of some sort of something wrong with his brain's dementia or whatever. When it's a normal person, no mutant powers. But when it is a mutant power, like, holy shit.
Seriously.
I thought that was an awesome part. It was an awesome, like, moment.
Yes. The scene where he has the seizure, and Logan has to basically crawl his way through the fucking casino.
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
that was I
felt so bad for all of the fucking military guys in there, because I was like, you basically have sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
And now you have to watch this guy murder you because you are going to die.
Yep.
Well, yeah, he just takes out every one of them. And that's when I want to say that him and Laura kind of started really working together, is in the hotel. Maybe the little bit of the car chase, but definitely in the hotel, that's when they started working together, because she hands him the shot. And he gives a shot, and she takes out the last guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of interesting.
No, they had a great character dynamic.
Yeah. People are asking, like, who's going to be the next Wolverine? And it's like, her.
Yeah.
Her. I don't know. They cannot tie this film into another film. I don't want them to. But they can easily just take that actress and make her Laura.
Yes.
I think,
there's no reason they can't.
Well, I also think, like, especially with the X-23 character, give it some time first before you bring it back.
Right, that was something Nick was talking about. Give it time.
Yeah, age her up. Yeah.
Well, also, just we got this is Hugh Jackman's last Wolverine film, right? Like,
yeah.
Like, there was no post-credit scenes. We all know this is it. This is Logan.
Yeah.
So give it some time. Let that character rest, and then eventually, hopefully, if Fox releases their Iron Grip, maybe Marvel could do something different. You know what I mean? Like, and approach the X-Men differently.
I don't know. I mean, no. We won't, because Fox is already planning on X-Men Supernova. I think that's what they're calling it.
God damn it.
Yeah. Fox doesn't want to release its grip because their contract states so long as they keep making X-Men films, they'll keep it.
But they're
so
bad
they'll put
at
out. I know they'll put out total shit, but they'll still keep the property.
See, what I'm hoping for is that they let the property go, and then specifically Marvel says, we're going to make a series of films called The Uncanny X-Men.
Okay.
Like,
you can keep hoping for that, and meanwhile, I'm going to go date Jennifer Lawrence. Like,
good luck, sir.
You know, Nick.
Yeah.
You know, I can hold on to this dream, can't I? Please.
No, you can't. You're not allowed to.
No, because, we were lucky enough that Sony was wise enough to go, okay, Marvel, here's Spider-Man, but we still want to make movies. And Marvel's like, sure, but this is how you're going to do it. We were lucky to get that. I don't think we'll get that with Fox. And not to mention, Fox has already had success with now Logan, and it's had success with Deadpool. Yep. So it's not going to give that up.
I know, but the only reason those films are successful is because they kind of listen to the stars.
I mean,
yeah.
If that's what it takes to make the movies good, I mean, maybe they need to do that.
But that's never going to happen again. Outside of Ryan Reynolds now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Marvel will ever if Marvel will ever get the X-Men back. I mean, it's all up in the air.
Oh no, I don't.
Things have been hinted. Stuff, maybe yes, no, but if anything, I think Marvel has to want it back, and they have the might of Disney. Mm-hmm. So if they really want any of the X-Men characters back, they will go after Fox. But other than that, nothing will happen.
True. Very true.
So, yeah. Sorry.
But at least we could settle for Ryan Reynolds just taking as many pot shots in the next Deadpool film.
Oh, yeah, he will. I just want to know who's going to play Caleb. Or Cable.
Dude.
Cable.
I'm excited to find out who our Cable's going to be. Cable's one of my favorite X-Men.
Yeah. Well, what I think is going to be interesting is just because with Cable and Deadpool, it's a buddy cop film.
Oh, yeah.
And I want that.
Yes.
Because Cable's all serious, and he's basically the Murtaugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
In that group, and he's like, I'm too old for this, and I can just see a bunch of shit being thrown at him. So yeah, the thing that they need to get a straight-laced actor who will not you look at his face and you realize you can't joke with him.
Yes.
That's what they need. I don't know who they're going to get with that, but
I don't know either.
We'll see.
But
I'm sure whoever they pick, it's definitely someone that's going to have great chemistry with Ryan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's key. That is definitely key, so.
One other thing about the next Deadpool movie that I'm kind of excited for
What's up?
is that, like, we've already saw the trailer.
Yes.
Right.
And the trailer was just fucking hilarious. And I like the fact that because the first success was so, the first movie was so good, I hope to see more of those, like, ridiculous montage sequences that are just completely, like the fucking killing montage where he's just hunting down, what's his name? And he fucking kills a guy with a Zamboni.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I want more of that. I want the story to be told in this completely outlandish, fucking over-the-top, dumbass way. Because it worked the first time, you could definitely do it again.
Well, yeah, because it worked the first time doesn't mean it necessarily worked the second time. I mean, that just might be cliche.
Well,
so he's not gonna. I mean, you could do the same joke, but with a rider lawnmower.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
Just
Like, I want to see that kind of ridiculousness, at least, not necessarily like killing him slowly, but like doing it ridiculously. Because like a Zamboni was kind of dumb, right?
Right. No, I get what you're saying, but I just hope they take the risks. They have a bigger budget now. And so I just want them to take bigger risks.
I agree.
Yes.
I definitely agree.
So, I mean, I'm not hoping for repeats. I just want them to take more risks. I would love it if, like, he made out with a guy or something like that in the next film. Because if they played around with his pansexuality, that's something I would like.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how far they push the story and the zaniness, the zaniness while being brutal. How it goes with it. So,
I think the best way to sum it up is I hope that they let Ryan Reynolds fly by the seat of his pants like last time and take a lead from that.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, they're not going to put him on a leash.
It's proven they don't need to.
Yeah. Okay, I don't trust this. I looked up Deadpool 2, and the cast, all the cast I got was basically the cast from last Deadpool. I don't know if I trust that.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust that. Not until we actually... does it have a release date set yet?
It's 2018. That's all I got.
Then I wouldn't trust it until we get like an official release date.
Yeah.
Do we know if Colossus or Negasonic Teenage Warhead are going to show up again?
According to IMDb, yes.
Because I think those two were like awesome cameos, and I just loved Colossus so much.
What? I liked seeing an actual Colossus.
Oh, yeah.
The last couple times we've had a Colossus in movies sucked.
Yeah.
But the thing, I want to go back to Logan real quick, and I was explaining this to Will. And as the credits rolled, like as the credits went away and we started walking out the film, walking out of the theater, a weird feeling kind of came over me.
Okay.
And it was a sudden realization that I'm never going to see Hugh Jackman as Wolverine again. And it was kind of bittersweet. The only comparison I have to it is when I finished the 7th book in Harry Potter.
Interesting.
It was just like, that is never going to happen again. This person will never be Wolverine again.
I think,
and he's dead set on that.
Yeah.
Unless he says his career's in the tank and he needs a paycheck.
George Clooney will tell you never do it for the money.
Yeah, that's true. But it was this weird feeling because, like, I was 13 years old when X-Men came out.
Holy shit!
And Hugh Jackman has been Wolverine since for me.
Yeah.
I'm 30 now. So, yeah, it's a hell of a run. Yeah, granted, some of the movies were shit. But he was Wolverine, the best of his abilities, for 17 fucking years. And you can't really beat that. So, and this one's just icing on the cake. It's like the perfect end to it.
Yeah.
As opposed to all the little ones that they've had, it's the perfect end to it. So, that was a weird thought I had. And it just kind of hit me, as we're walking out of there. Because, like, I'm never going to see this dude I'm never going to see him or Patrick Stewart as these characters again.
Right.
This is it. So, yeah, that was it was interesting. It's like, all right, thank you, Hugh. You did good.
Honestly, I didn't have that type of feeling when at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But my feelings, and Ashley kind of agreed with me, which was just like, that was I was proud. I was like, man, that good for you.
Yeah.
You went out on the best note possible, and no one gets that. Like, you rarely see that nowadays.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was just more like, kind of like, man, if that's going to be the last one, thank God.
Yeah.
Because, that was just, I, honestly, if, going back to the topic of best movie of the year, like best picture or something like that, if someone said it's going to be Logan, I'd be like, sure, I'd believe it.
Yeah.
It had everything going for it. Like, if it doesn't win several awards next year, I
don't think it'll be nominated. Maybe for effects. I don't think anything else.
Which I think it should get nominated for at least Best Supporting Actress with the girl who played Laura.
Maybe
or lead,
for
I
her.
guess technically.
Maybe
it's
for her.
Children.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe for her, but at the same time, the Academy is a bunch of snooty fucking Q-tips.
Oh,
they won't look at it. They won't. They think, oh, comic book movie? Meh, we don't need to look at it. Meanwhile, it has one of the greater thespians in it, and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
They won't look at it.
Dude, the best part about it is it's got Patrick Stewart dropping F-bombs like it's going out of style.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you. Fuck this.
And I will say this, the only reason why Batman, the Dark Knight was, like, why Heath Ledger was really nominated, and he would have been nominated if he died or not, but the only reason why he won, and it was talked about, was because he died. I don't think the Dark Knight would have gotten any more traction if the tragedy of Heath Ledger wasn't around it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the problem with the Academy. So, I mean, really what you can do for yourself is just love this film and watch it again if you can and enjoy it because it's an awesome real Wolverine movie. It doesn't need an award, in my opinion. The award is the fact that the fans got what they wanted and are thanking the people that gave it to them. So,
I mean, I know Hugh Jackson's probably going to act after this.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, of course he is.
I mean, granted,
he's an actor.
Yeah, but
that's his job.
I feel like, as far as his accolades go, it's going to be really rare for him to match this performance.
You never know.
And I'm not saying he's like, oh, he's done. Like, I feel like it's more like because he got the opportunity to play this character for so long,
right?
He got to perfect this performance. And once again, good for him. You don't ever, in reality, Hollywood has never been this kind to a person.
No,
in that
they
regard.
haven't.
So, I hope that, whatever he goes into next, fucking, he rocks it.
It'll be a play. Right now, he's looking at plays.
Oh, I love it when he does plays.
Because that's where he comes from. He's a stage actor.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where he's going to go to. I mean, I don't know if you'll see him in another film anytime soon. It's all up in the air. But he's 48, and the workout and everything's getting to him, and his skin cancer keeps coming back here and there. So it's like he needs a break, and he needs to stop. So, and this is the perfect moment for him to stop.
True that.
So, yeah, and I think this is the perfect moment for us to stop too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because holy shit! I just looked at the time. Okay, yeah. I guess we're gonna wrap it up for tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Yep. Thank you for listening. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes, and also if you're enjoying this on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, please do.
Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, do that.
If anything, we put it on YouTube to make it easier for you guys to give us feedback.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to enjoy this. And if you want to say fuck it to all the other platforms, as long as you leave a comment and say fuck us on YouTube, I'm already ecstatic.
You done what we asked you to do.
You done good, kid. Yeah. All right. We're out.
Oh.
Later.
Peace.
Later days.